Hey there, everybody. It's Nikki Jordan with Got Space, and I wanted to talk about something that I'm going to start tomorrow because it occurred to me that I need it. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. So, this last couple months has not been great. And a lot of us don't talk all the time about what's not been great. People post a little bit, but it's really the cumulative things that have been thrown into your life through how everybody's reacting to what's happening in the world or what is actually happening, not just a reaction in their own lives. So I'm a person who is eternally hopeful. I am always on the positive side of what we can do. And I found myself sort of just giving up, sitting on the couch, doing a lot of nothing, not being inspired, and everywhere I went to try to add fun to my life, to do something, always had something that wasn't associated with it. And I started thinking, what on earth can I do? You know, my husband works all day long and he has his own issues with being isolated. But this isn't really what it is. I lost some kind of thread, that makes me who I am. And one could call it laziness. But it was sort of like if the benefits of being isolated are to see what you don't really like to spend your time doing, that's fine. But what happens when this continues and you start to watch life as you know, friends and work and, children, friends and all of that unravel in ways that wasn't what you hoped for. So all we know is that there's change and chaos. And what can I do? Because if I lie on the couch and give up, I've given up, like, what was it? 22 years ago, 20 something years ago, I asked the universe to show me what I was meant to do here, because why was I here? I didn't get it. And it gave me a gift. It gave me a gift to help people. And I realized that's really where it lies, my ability to channel stuff either energetically or verbally through to help people change. And I wasn't interested in that anymore. And I'm like, well, then I'm really not going to be interested in staying here much longer, especially when I see what's going on. So I asked myself, and I've been asking myself, what is it that you want to do? What is it that you can do, I should say, right now to stop this feeling? And it's funny because when I look at some of my colleagues who do similar kind of work, they post all these wonderful things. There's absolutely nothing negative. And I think, great, they're expanding. They may not have as many demands on them. They may not have some problems that, show up in family or whatever. They may have transcended it all, but I know there's so many people for whom that's not the case. And so I decided what I'm going to do is do 10 weeks of creating a demand for myself every day. So that demand might be the same as yesterday, but every time you make a demand of something that you're going to do, what happens is that you lose the justifications and the reasons and all the things that you put in to keep everything the same, right? To not change. And even if it's, I'm so lazy, I still haven't done my taxes, and I'm looking at piles of stuff, it's a simple demand, but by actively creating a place to make demands of myself for 10 weeks, I may save myself from falling into the malaise that an energy healer can do in a time of chaos like this, when you're not supposed to engage or you lose the thread of engaging. And so you can join me. I haven't even figured out whether to just do it on my Facebook Lives or whether to have a group or both. So there could be Facebook Lives, people see it as they wish, and those who want to engage more can see it or want it more organized, can see it in a group. And for those people who really want to go somewhere with each other and support each other, then we can do private Zooms and private groups, as I have done most all summer, except for the last month, and even privates. So when you make a demand of yourself, the energy changes, right? But sometimes you need the energy of others demanding. You literally need the energy of others demanding. And so one of the greatest things, and maybe she's on her, who knows, is that my friend Tori, colleague, I laugh that she should tag me in these 25 days of push-ups. And it's about mental health and PTSD. And she did. She tagged me to do. So that is one of the other thing that I'm going to do, because there is a side of my physical self that I have left off in kind of not caring. And this is not me. I'm telling you, this is not me. It was me. It was me in 1998, but it isn't me now, unless the me now needs to see something completely different. And the only way to create something different is to demand that I do such, that I engage in a way that I will see something different, because I don't see much changing the way people communicate and are in fear and worry and fight and any of that. It's not even who I am. I am not anything like all of that. And I found myself thinking about what I want to fight about. And I'm like, what am I doing that for? So if you want to join me, follow me tomorrow or whatever day you do. And if you want to join us in a group where it's more organized, it'll be a Facebook group, you can do that. But to create a demand for ourselves every day, to challenge ourselves, to not be the status quo, to challenge ourselves to pick up strings that we have lost, or pick up strings that we have been curious about and never done. Or the moment you start to fall in to the energy of, who cares? Maybe I should do nothing. That you can ask yourself, is that really what you want? Or the moment that you start to take someone's point of view and argue something, you can question that. Or the moment you start to say the couch feels better than the walk, you can demand that you do some kind of physical movement, some kind of brain exercise, some kind of curiosity activity, whatever it is, because when all of this is over, we will be the sum total of what we've done. That is something worth thinking about. So when there's one thing to shed the stress of the way that we had the world before, which has been beneficial in my life and some people I've seen. But to go out to dinner outside on the sidewalk yesterday was fabulous. I hadn't been outside for dinner other than at our own home in very many months. And so to just explore, even to take your own town and demand that you take different routes everywhere, you see things differently, that you open your eyes to something else, or that you open your ears to literally listen to the suffering that people are saying when they're complaining about something, or when they're taking a different point of view on a solution for the world than you are. Where is this coming from? What can you demand of yourself? It could be just to make yourself breakfast every morning. We actually don't eat breakfast. We have just tea or coffee, and then we have something late. That's just always been our lifestyle, but or our body's interest, I should say. But the simplest things to create change and not falling into the abyss of malaise, or the abyss of, really, is this? I mean, if you don't understand fires, this whole area that we live in was surrounded by fires. The smoke was so terrible. People were evacuated. People lost homes. And so what we can do is, while we're in this, we feel sad. People have felt so sad. I can't tell you. Hi there, Kim, I'm so glad you're in. People have felt so sad, as I know Kim and I have talked about. Like, what are we here for anymore? What happened? What did we lose that was us? And what was us that wasn't us, really, that or we no longer want to? That's the greatest thing that we've done, and we stopped and we get to say what we don't want anymore, right? So, yeah, I'm so excited, and I want you to invite your friends if you think this works out. So wait for tomorrow's post. You can, of course, share this. But I want to do this for 10 weeks. You don't have to join me for 10 weeks. You can flit in and out. But I can tell you, every time I've done something for 10 weeks, it's a massive change. Massive change. So much knowing and intuition that you can't even imagine. Your body's sense of itself in space, which is proprioception, its ability to know immediately increases because we are changing the energy. So, anyway, let me know if that interests you. Kim's in, I'm in, and when I get that group, you can join that too, if that part interests you. Take care. Bye.